How to plan a photo of the two supermoons of August 2023. Hello PhotoPiller, Rafael the Bar here. In August this year we have the opportunity to plan and photograph two supermoons. And these are the only two supermoons of the year. We can miss them. So in this video we're going to see when the two supermoons occur and how to plan them till the very last detail with PhotoPills, including how to figure out the shooting spot, how to figure out the shooting date and time, the natural light at the time of the shooting, which is super important to understand the color of the supermoon we'll have, and also to understand if we will be able to photograph in one single exposure, correctly exposed both the foreground, the subject, and the supermoon. We'll also see how to use PhotoPills to figure out the focal length we'll use for the shot, and even where to make focus and the aperture to use to get both the supermoon and your subject and the subject in focus. Ready? Let's go! Well, a supermoon is a full moon that occurs close to the perigee. This is when the moon is closer to Earth. And because the moon is closer to Earth, the moon appears to be between 5 and 10% larger than usual. And this is the reason it's commonly known as the supermoon, because it's slightly larger, bigger. Truth is that the supermoon is a rare phenomenon. It only occurs a couple of times a year. In 2023 we'll have two supermoons. So the question is, when do they occur? Easy. If you go to PhotoPills and then you tap on moon and then you tap on distances here at the bottom, you'll have these two supermoon dates at the top. So the first supermoon is on August 1st, 2023, and the second supermoon is on August 21st, 2023. So both supermoons are in August. Also, you can tap on calendar here at the bottom, and the two yellow circumferences are pointing out the two supermoons. And as you see, August 1st and August 21st are the supermoon dates for 2023. And now that we know the dates, we can start planning our supermoon shots. To it on the calendar, just tap on the supermoon you wish to plan. For example, on the one on August 1st, to see all the details of the supermoon. And as you see here, it says that the full moon is 7.6 bigger than the average full moon size, which is not too bad. 7.6% larger. It's good. Now let's send the date of the supermoon to the planner. So tap on the action button here at the bottom and choose send to planner. And you'll see that the planner opens up, and notice that the date on the time bar has been set to August 1st, 2023. And now we can start planning our supermoon shot. Let's go. Okay, in this example, I have the red pin on the island of Menorca, where we'll try to plan this supermoon shot for August 1st. Please follow the same steps I'm following to plan any other supermoon or on any other location on Earth. So, the first thing I need to do is to find a cool subject, an interesting subject that can be aligned with the supermoon. To find it, we'll use the supermoon rise and set lines. The supermoon is rising in the light blue thick line you see on the map, and the supermoon is setting on the dark thick line you see on the map. So it's rising on the light blue one and it's setting on the dark blue one. Also on the map we have the sunrise, the thick yellow line, and the sunset, the thick orange line, but I don't need this information to plan the supermoon, so I'll switch it off. To do it, tap on the map settings button, and here on the map layers, tap on the eye next to the sun layer to switch it off. Go back to the map, and now I only have the moon information on the map, so I can start planning my supermoon shot. Well, just by looking at the supermoon rise direction, one subject immediately appears in my mind, which is the Favarich lighthouse. So let me place the red pin in a possible initial shooting spot. You know where the lighthouse is, I'll show you in a minute, but I want to place the red pin somewhere around here, for example, because the Favarich lighthouse is over here. Well, I need to place it a bit more north. Why? Because I want the moon to rise next to Favarich lighthouse, and if I do a long press on the time bar, I can change the time more precisely. So as you see, the moon is rising, supermoon is rising next to my lighthouse, which is what I want to start planning my shot. Okay, let's place the black pin on my lighthouse, zoom on your subject and go to panel number 2 and tap on the button on the panel, and here just place it where you want the moon to be, aligned with my lighthouse. Cool. Great, based on the supermoon rise direction, I found a subject that can be aligned with the supermoon, which is the Favarit lighthouse. So, and then I place the red pin in a way that the moon is rising next to my subject. The step is to fine-tune my shooting time and my shooting spot. For example, in this case, I'll try to find the shooting spot and the shooting time where the supermoon is aligned with the top of the lighthouse. Something like this photo that Antonio took a few years ago, but with the supermoon a little bit higher. Great, we have a great initial shooting spot because we have a really nice view of the lighthouse and the supermoon is rising next to it. Now, according to Wikipedia, the Favarit lighthouse has a height of 28 meters. So the first thing I need to do is to place the center of the moon at 28 meters above the black pin, and for that I'll use the top panel, panel number 2, and I'll change the time until the moon height from black pin is 28 meters, something like this. Great, now I have the supermoon at 28 meters, but it's not aligned with the lighthouse, with the black pin. I need to align it, and to do it fast, I'll tap on the plus button, I'll tap on the expand lines, this button here, tap on the plus button again, and swap the pins. This is a trick I'm showing you now. And now I'll just place the black pin right where this dotted blue line is, which represents the moon, swap back the pins, and now let's see if it's aligned. Yes, it's pre-aligned, and on the top panel the moon height now is 27.4 meters, so I change the time a little bit until it's 28. Okay, 27.9. This is almost the height I want, but it doesn't matter, it's 28, almost 28. So and as you see, the moon is pre-aligned with the black pin with my subject, and this is very cool. Nice. I'll switch off the expand azimuth lines here, and I'll drag and drop the button on the map on the plus. Great. And this is my plan. If on August 1st, 2023 at 9:23 p.m. I am at the position of the red pin, I'll be able to photograph the supermoon aligned with the top of the lighthouse, which is at 28 meters above the ground level, the lighthouse of Favarit. And I'll get something like this, but with the moon a little bit higher. Notice that panel 2 above the map is also telling me the size of the supermoon in brackets, 69.2 meters, which is pretty huge, pretty big. Remember that the lighthouse is only 28 meters. Now you wish to see the size of the moon on the map too, so you can compare with your subject. Tap on the map settings button here, tap on the moon layer, and then choose show moon size on the map and go back to the map. And now this 69.2 meters that the top panel is telling you is also appearing on the map. And here you see how huge the moon will be compared with your subject, with the lighthouse in this case. Really cool. Okay, this is a key step. When you're planning the moon, when you're planning to photograph the moon, you have to always check the natural light you'll get at the time of the shooting. Is it golden hour? Is it blue hour? Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Because the photo will completely change depending on the natural light at the time of the shooting, of course. And as you know, the natural light is linked to elevation of the sun, so if I go to panel number 2, I read that the elevation of the sun at the time of the shooting is minus 5.22 degrees, which means that it's blue hour. Remember that blue hour goes from elevation of the sun between minus 4 and minus 6, and the golden hour is with the elevation of the sun from 6 to minus 4 degrees. So blue hour is an amazing time to photograph the moon. Why? Because there is enough light to, in one single exposure, get correctly exposed both my subject, the foreground, and the moon. And also because when the sun goes down in golden hour and blue hour, the moon gets a really powerful color, yellow or even pink, depending on the particles in the atmosphere. So guys, understanding natural light is key, and if you want to master it, watch this video. And last but not least, I also recommend you to plan the focal length you'll use to get the framing, the field of view you want. So you can decide the focal length you want depending on what you want in the frame and outside the frame. And also I recommend you to plan the depth of field, what will be in focus and out of focus in the photo. For that, you'll need to choose the aperture and also where you're focusing at. For example, to get both in focus, your subject and the moon. And to plan the field of view and depth of field, tap on the map settings button and switch on the depth of field map tool. And the map tools here, tap on DOF and go back to the map. Now I'll zoom out a little bit, and here I need to choose my camera settings. For example, camera, Nikon Z6, the focal length, I'm gonna start with a 200mm and see what happens. The aperture, I'm gonna leave it at f8, great. And then I'm gonna be focusing at my subject, so I'm gonna tell PhotoPills to focus at the black pin distance, because I placed the black pin on my subject, on the lighthouse. Let's see what happens if I shoot on landscape and my shooting direction. I'm gonna align my field of view with my lighthouse, and now if I zoom in, I can clearly see on the map what will be outside the frame and what will be inside the frame. And maybe it's too much, it's too wide for me, so I'll go with let's say 500 and see what happens. 500mm to get a much closer view of the lighthouse. And I'm gonna go to shoot it in portrait. Good. So the moon, as you see, will appear pretty large in the frame, in the photo. That's awesome. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think 500mm is the one to go here. And as you see, the moon is almost 1/3 of the frame. It's pretty cool. So I have my focal length 500mm. Let's see if the aperture is enough to get the moon in focus and my subject in focus. Well, my subject will be in focus because I'm telling PhotoPills that I'm focusing at the black pin distance. I'm focusing on the lighthouse, so it will be tack sharp. Let's see if the moon will be in focus too, and for that I need to make sure that the hyperfocal distance is shorter than my focus distance. And the hyperfocal distance is represented here next to the red pin with the 3 icon is 1.04 kilometers. And because I'm focusing on something that's behind that focal distance, infinity will be also in focus. So yeah, my subject and the moon will be exactly sharp, which is pretty cool. And if there is not enough light and I need to open the aperture, let's see what happens. Go to f5.6 and yeah, still the hyperfocal distance is 1.48 kilometers. So I'm gonna get in focus also the moon, or exactly sharp the moon. Great. So I have everything planned. I have my shooting spot, my shooting date and time. I have the natural light, it's blue hour. It's an awesome light for photographing the moon. So I'm gonna shoot one single exposure and I'm gonna get a powerful color of the moon, maybe a pink. And for the settings, I'm gonna use my Nikon Z6, aperture, focal length 500mm, an aperture of 5.6 or 8, depending on the natural light I have at the time of the shooting. And I'm gonna get an amazing shot of a super large moon, exactly 69.2 meters of diameter, aligned with the top of the lighthouse of Varich, which is an amazing shot. Oh, I almost forgot, because I mentioned the hyperfocal distance. Maybe you don't know what the hyperfocal distance is. If you want to master it, watch this video. Okay, I've just shown you how to plan the supermoon on August 1st. If you wish to plan the supermoon on August 21st, all you have to do is to follow the same steps I've just explained in this video. Now, you wish to learn more, you wish to nail your supermoon shots, you wish to learn how to photograph the supermoon, I invite you to download and study well our super detailed moon photography guide. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of this video and in the first comment below. Check it out. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember, I have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos. Bye.